What's up, y'all? It's Jay here, your accountability coach and ghetto psychologist, and it is my life's purpose to help Black people navigate this patriarchal system of white supremacy. Y'all, today we're going to talk about karma, and in specifically karma for the masculine. So I did record this video some months ago, but I was like, you know what, I'm going to re-record it because I didn't like the quality. And some things have happened in between the time that I recorded the last video. The sentiment is still the same, but there's some things that kind of show in my personal life evidence of the masculine receiving karma. So when y'all hear karma, everybody jumps to negative karma. Not all karma is negative. It could be good karma. It could be bad karma. At this point in the cosmos, people are getting rewarded and people are getting justice. There are some people who have done the work. They have absolved themselves of the negativity that attracts traumatic or certain type of traumatic experiences, because you're always going, if you live in, you're going to go through some trauma. But there's a time right now that we're going through where if you want those people who just ain't got right, you paying for it, and you paying for it quickly. The veil has been lifted, and we can see. If you never could see before, you can see today. You remember when we were young and the government was just, we knew that they were bad, but we just didn't know. Now we know. They can't even fucking hide it. So I think it's very important that we realize now in this time period that what you reap, you sowing, and you sowing it tenfold, and it's coming quick as fuck. It's not taking a long time anymore. Of course, there's no definitive timeline for the people who's always black and white, okay? But try your luck. That's all I gotta say to you. But there's karma for the masculine, and I say the masculine in particular because we are in the physical realm. I'm one of those people who, in my spiritual practices, I believe that the spiritual realm is more feminine, and the masculine, and the physical realm, is more masculine. Because think about it. Spirituality is just a being. It's just about knowing who you are. I am, right? The physical world is I do. It's where you do things. It's where the results of your spiritual growth or your spiritual rank or whatever is shown in the physical world. Okay? How spiritually in tune you are shows in the physical world. How? It's multiple different ways. You know, it just depends on the person. Depends. It's not a rule, right? That's the thing about humans and spirituality. There is no set rules, but there's set rules, but there's no set rules. It's kind of hard to explain. Everything's like a fucking conundrum, right? Oxymoron and all of that shit. So the masculine is coming to terms with who he is. We're in a period where we're redefining manhood, redefining womanhood, redefining humanity. You know, we're seeing things, like I said, in a clear lens, because we see, if you didn't see before, again, how fucking racist the world is, how fucking sexist the world is, how fucking homophobic the world is, how fucking divisive the world is. You're seeing it now. And why? Who started this? The masculine. The masculine did this. It is a man's world, and it has been for some thousands of years now. Women have not had primary control in a very fucking long time, because that control was stripped of us, just like control was stripped from black people. There is an intersection there that I don't really feel like going into verbal details. It will be in my book coming out in February. But there has to be some kind of understanding that the first really shall be last, and the last shall be first. It's always going to be a cycle. And right now we're just in the terrible cycle of understanding we got to break the cycle. How do we break the cycle? honestly, kind of letting nature take its course, because all of this shit had to happen. I think I said this in another video. I don't know. Make so much content now, I can't remember what the fuck I be doing. But it has to happen. All of this stuff has to happen. There has to be a common enemy for humans to come together and unify, unify with, to defeat, to go against. It has to be. That's a tale as long as time. So here we are, fighting. Here we are trying to erase what the masculine has done to society in the past thousands of years. Their greed, their desire for intense power and control, the money, the women, all of that bullshit, right? And we have to, like I said, when we as black people start to define and redefine what manhood and womanhood is, we have to take the white man and the white woman out of our heads, because they set the standard of what manhood and womanhood is. They did. And we were affected through our ancestors, through slavery. Because when we looked, or our ancestors, I should say, looked at who a mother figure was or a father figure was, the only examples they had were white people. And yeah, I mean, that's not to take away from the fact that, of course, there were black examples. So let me clarify. Let me clear that up. But let's think about it, right? Let's say I'm on a small farm. It's 1808. I am 15 years old. No, I'm gonna go back younger. I'm 8. I'm 8 years old. I was just taken from my mother and my father. I am under the care of Mrs., which is Master's wife. I work for her because I'm so young. I'm not good enough to be out in the field yet. And I also play with Mrs. children, because we all around the same age. Who am I gonna be looking up to? Just instinctually. This was a lot of people's situations, and you have to understand that this, again, when I say these things, it doesn't mean everybody had that in their lineage. It just means that it was a lot of people. I can't say if it was the majority. I can't say if it was the minority. I can say that it was a lot of people. We all heard the story. And if you haven't, again, where have y'all been when it comes to history? So the standard of me as an 8-year-old enslaved little girl, don't have my parents anymore. Maybe I never even had them in the first place. I'm being taken care of. I'm a house Negro, but I'm still a slave. And I'm inside the house being raised by Mrs., playing with her children. In my mind, I'm 8. Come on, think about my 8-year-old's mind. I'm not fully realizing. Of course, I understand I'm not like Mrs. Children. We look different. I got different clothes on. I can't even do what y'all do. Like, yeah, I'm working in the house, but my bed is outside. I ain't even got no bed, first of all. But I sleep outside. But I come in here to help Mrs. do whatever and keep y'all occupied. I don't have parents to look up to. I don't have adults to look up to besides Master and Mrs. That's my standard of manhood and womanhood right there. So, as black people, black women are set to have a standard of behaving like and even somewhat appearing like white women. And black men have that same standard when it comes to white men. This is why there is such a huge divide between black men and black women, is because we are operating under, again, standards that are not even natural to us. Like, historically, that's not how the fuck black people were in relationships with each other. It wasn't no, oh, if we're a man and a woman, the man is the leader. You do whatever the man says all the time. That was not black people. That was white people. White people did that. Whenever you think about oppression, a white person better pop in your head, because what's wrong with the world was not created by anybody other than them. Sure, we all are complicit. We all are. But are we all sharing the same amount of power? No. No. So, that being said, it's a man's world. And men are paying for it. That is what the masculine is. That is what this karma is going to be for them. And what I was saying is, I've gone through some various experiences over the last few months since I decided to re-record this video, where I have been seeing that men are becoming way more aware also in real life. Of course, I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't be online like that. I post. I post, of course, and people might think I post a lot. Some people, depending on who's looking, because I am somewhat of a content creator, but I really don't scroll a lot. I mean, I'm on YouTube, but YouTube is different than anywhere else. I don't really scroll a lot, so I don't know. I don't see a lot of the transitions that's going on in the online space, but I see in the real world where I've been protected by men who I don't know from other men. And this has happened in the last few months. And it's not even just necessarily like a physical protection. It's a emotional, mental protection. It's a, okay, let me check this man because I don't like how he's handling this woman type of situation. And this has been happening. And I'm like, okay, the men are really waking up. The men are. And then don't get me wrong, it's always like just one out of a group of a few. I don't think it's as ever a situation where it's just the majority, but they are waking up in my eyes. Anyway, I see it. Of course, it's never going to be enough because we would like everybody to be woke, but it just don't work like that. So recognizing that, these are the men who's going to receive favor. And it's really biblical. I don't think people are understanding that the way we are treating women, and when I say we, I'm talking about everybody mistreats women. We're paying the ultimate price because women are the portal. Women are the life bringers, the life givers, the enhancers. Whatever you give a woman, she's going to enhance. She's going to transmute it. It's going to be turned into something. So if you, and this is women who are virtuous, and when I say virtuous, I'm not talking about sex, because y'all always think virtuous just means she's pure, and pure is different than if you had sex or not. Sex does not make you unpure. Okay, let's start there. But when women are virtuous, women are healed, when they're whole, when they are loving, when they become love incarnate, we turn shit, literal shit, into gold. You hand me something, you give me something, give me an idea, you give me a pen, I'm gonna write a fucking story. You understand? You give me a mic, I'm gonna tell that story. And it's gonna reach somebody, it's gonna hurt, it's gonna help somebody. It's going to reach somebody who's hurt and help them. You know? And when men are taking care of that, when men are taking care of God's holiest creature, they receive favor. Again, like I said, this is not, it's biblical in a sense. It goes even beyond Adam and Eve, but think about the story of Adam and Eve. Like, really, really think about that. And how both Eve and Adam lost favor. because somebody did not protect Eve, who was the woman. The serpent took advantage of her. And Adam did not tell Eve to stop. He did not keep her away from that serpent. And not only that, when God confronted them both, Eve took accountability, but Adam just immediately shifted the blame to Eve. And he said it in a way like, oh God, that's the girl you gave me. She did that. What? Like, nigga, you still ate the fruit. You could have said no, and she could have just got in trouble alone. But instead, you followed her. Since we're always arguing about who's the real leader, you followed Eve. And there was always to be contention between man and woman from that point forward. That was the Bible. People keep saying it's a curse. I'm trying to figure out where y'all keep getting that curse word from. Ain't no fucking curse. There's contention between man and woman. From that point on, we are able to see each other be naked. We were casted out of the Garden of Eden. It wasn't a curse. Of course, we did get punished as humans. That's what I mean when I say we, because I wasn't there. But I was there. I just wasn't there in this form. We all were there. Anyway, so before I get on to the deep end, so karma for the masculine. Women, be careful, okay, with what kind of man you love. Gay people, be careful with what kind of man you love, because these men again are starting to pay the price for the front end, the things that they did on the front end. Starting to pay for it. And some people are paying for it through force. Some people are paying for it through just doing the work as it comes up. Some of them are suffering because they're fighting that inner feminine being that wants to break out of them and tell them, hey, it's okay to be soft sometimes. It's okay to have your own mind. Because to be masculine, to be in the physical form, is to follow the construct, right? That's why men have a hard time going against constructs, because they are trained and reared up to be robotic and follow the system. I'm not saying that women are not, because we are, just in a different way, right? So men become so susceptible to public opinion because that's the construct. If you don't get along, you got to get out. And if you got to get out, you ain't going to make no money. You're not going to be famous. You're not going to get women. Those are the most important things that men are taught to value. So we made it normal. Like, we normalized disloyalty amongst men, especially when it comes to them in their dealings with women. We normalized men cheating on their spouses. That's why what David Banner said some weeks ago, he wasn't the first person to say it, but he made it popular again. For a man to say, I'm not working with no man who cheat on his wife because I know he's not loyal. This is what we've been saying as women to you men. You're not a loyal. Loyalty should be a default. But y'all have popularized disloyalty between men and women on both sides. Yes, women, I will say, is a response to the men, but now everybody feels like they have to get they lick. Everybody got to be disloyal. It's cute now for you to cheat and dishonor your fucking spouse. And this is coming from somebody, again, who I believe in poly relationships. But y'all are scared to really open those things up because cheating is much more beneficial. for lack of a better word. I think that's really the best word. It's more beneficial for people to cheat because they don't have to worry if the other person is doing it. Even though the other person might, but because they know that this is a closed relationship, is monogamous, they have this inkling that that person is not doing anything. So I don't have to worry about competing for another person. Competing with another person. Meanwhile, I'm just going out here doing whatever fuck I want to with this other person, and they in competition. They don't even know it. We made it popular, and we have to understand. Like I said, men are getting the ultimate karma, but women are still there receiving it. Women who enable men to be terrible, okay, are going to pay the price also. This is why y'all seeing Nicki Minaj spiral out. Because look at what she aligned herself to as a masculine. Her husband is terrible. He's one of the worst representations of masculine energy, masculine vessels. It's terrible. Right? That's why she's going to end up losing. Like I told y'all, this is the downfall. I ain't going to talk too much more about it. I already talked about it in a prior video. So I'm gonna leave with this message, and I'm gonna make a short about this. I'm gonna delve a little bit deeper. But when you can't change a person, which you shouldn't even try to change people, you should never try to do that. But when you know you can't change a person, that's when you have to change yourself. And what that means when I say change yourself, maybe you need to change the way you think. Maybe you need to remove yourself from that person's life. Maybe you need to enforce a boundary. Something has to change, right? If whatever somebody is doing is bothersome to you, who you are at your core, you make that decision. Because something has to change, right? Because there's no way you're going to continue to keep it going that way. There's no way you're going to continue to allow it. And if you do, you have to look at the bigger picture of what the repercussions is to continue in a relationship or continue in a situation that you know it's not serving you. You know it's taking from you. Doesn't feel good. So when y'all are dealing with these men who you can see as a woman intuitively, oh, this is his karma. You can tell if you tapped in. Even just a little bit. You can tell when the man you dealing with is experiencing his own karma, whether it's good or bad. And I'm gonna make it a little personal. Like one of the guys that I deal with right now, I can tell he's experiencing good karma just because of how different he's been presenting himself to me. Like how much more aware I can see that he's become. You know? So that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying that some men are experiencing their good karma. That's why you see so many men speaking out online right now too. They're waking up. They're starting to get it. Right? The agents of change versus the agents of chaos. Understand who is who. Understand how many is who. How many is going to be on each side. The average person is going to be in the middle, always neutral. Even if they choose one side or another, you might not ever know because they like to keep their opinions in the tuck because they're afraid to have to defend it. So, like I said, the average person is always neutral on autopilot. But you got some people a little bit up here, got some people right here. It's like a bell curve. And most people are right there in the middle. Me, as usual, I'm a little bit up on the superior side. Then you got some of the people that's on the not so superior side. Where do you fall? You probably neutral, likely neutral, because that's where most people are. And that's okay. But don't pay attention to the people that's behind you. Pay attention to the people that's ahead of you. Okay? And if you are going to pay attention to the people behind you, only do so to teach them, reach back so that they can come up there with you. Otherwise, you don't need to be listening to them, trust me. Some things you just don't need to. Anywho, so, again, we're at the end of this video. Shameless plug. It is almost time for my free ebook to be released on August 8th. It is called the Black Unity Starter Kit. Very excited to get started all over again, introducing myself as your accountability coach and ghetto psychologist, becoming this author, sinking my feet and my teeth fully into my journey, into my purpose, into just my alignment. I am here, and I'm here to stay. And I don't think I'm gonna change anything anymore anytime soon. It took me a couple rebrands, a couple retries, a couple times having to pivot. Took some stuff, but here I am, and I feel like I'm planted right now. I feel like I'm rooted. I feel like a little baby stem growing out of the fucking soil, and just consistently getting watered and nurtured, and eventually I'm gonna sprout and be a fucking big ass tree, providing everybody with oxygen and maybe even some fruits and shade and beauty. Yeah. Damn, that was poetic as fuck. I was just talking. I don't even know what the fuck I was saying, really. Just, again, when your throat chakra get activated, the motherfucker just keep going. So that's my free ebook next week. Coming up after that in February 2026 is going to be Thorn to the Eye. Eventually I'm gonna, well, I'm not gonna, eventually you're going to see me explain the book titled Thorn to the Eye. This week I'm going to explain that, and I'm going to sign out. It's time for me to go take a break. I'm going to eat something, lie down for just a moment, and then get back into work for the day. I love you guys. If you watch this, you're a real one. If this is your first time seeing me, please like this video, subscribe, drop a comment, do all that good shit. See ya.